Hi, my name is Mike Bose. I'm a member of TriTAG, or the Tri-Cities Transport Action Group. We exist to advocate for better walking, cycling, and transit in Waterloo Region. And today, I'm here to give you a demonstration of how to use our municipal election candidate survey. It's our website has responses from candidates across Waterloo Region. And given the complexities of our local governance system, um, thought it would be worthwhile to demonstrate how to best make use of the site and gather the information as you head to the polls on October 22nd. So, uh, to view our website, all you have to do is navigate to TriTAG, tritag.ca/election 2018, and that will take you to our survey website. And at the very top, you'll see we've got highlighted the key issues, I think, that TriTAG is trying to highlight to candidates and to voters this election. And so those categories are transit, especially making transit more frequent and reliable, um, cycling, and a network that works for all ages and abilities and is coherent, um, sidewalks, their existence on all streets, as well as ensuring that they're safely cleared of snow and ice in the winter. Um, the shape of our neighborhoods and communities form through zoning and land use policy. This has an important impact on people's transportation choices. And finally, how we can design safer streets um, in order to prevent people from being hurt or killed on our roads. And you'll notice for each of these, you can click and get a bit of a description of the issue, where TriTag stands, as well as some links for more information on the particular issue at hand. You'll also be able to pull up these position statements later as we look further into the survey. Now we can view candidates' responses either by scrolling down here or up at the top menu, clicking on candidates, which will pull up survey responses to the top of the screen. Now, since we have so many different elected positions in Waterloo Region, depending on where you live, the system will need to have a little bit of information on who you are, or not who you are, where you are, in order to determine which candidates you're eligible to vote for. And you can do that in a variety of ways. You can add your address. So, for instance, let me type in address for City Hall here. That happens to be in Kitchener's Ward 10. And you can see it's automatically picked in the menu here, Kitchener Ward 10. If we wanted to pick another ward, say Ward 1, we can go there. And the website updates automatically. In addition, you can look up your address on a map. So here, the map shows the address we added in the address bar. But if you'll notice the ward that we've selected, Ward 1, is highlighted in red on the map here. So that's a little tool that helps you figure out, just in case sometimes, addresses or postal codes may not have things perfectly right. If you need to double check, you can find your house on the map and be able to, just by clicking here, so let me click on Ward 2, and you'll see it updates to Kitchener Ward 2. Now, regardless of where you're in the region, we do show regional chair because that position doesn't depend on which municipality or ward you live in. Everyone in the region is eligible to, every voter in the region is eligible to vote for regional chair. So we show their responses right away. But once you have a ward selected, you can then view mayor. If you're living in a city, you can view regional council candidates as well as local councillor candidates. and you can switch to those particular races by clicking the tabs here. So as I mentioned before, we've got our 5 issues. For the regional chair, mayor, and regional councillor positions, we ask questions on all 5 categories. And for the local councillor questions, we skip transit since those issues are dealt with at the regional level. So going back to the to a regional candidate page, you'll see we've got at the top transit's listed as the first issue. And if you want to navigate to a different particular topic, the buttons on the right here will allow you to switch between transit, bike network, walkability, communities and development, safe streets, as well as contact information. So we have emails, websites, phone numbers, and if available, Twitter handles. So you can reach out to candidates if you have questions or comments, or if you feel so inclined to volunteer on a campaign. And I will note we try and provide the contact information of all candidates regardless of whether or not they've participated in the survey. So if you see a candidate who hasn't participated in the survey, who is running in your area, and you want to hear what they have to say, reach out to them and ask them to participate in the survey. We'd love to hear from them as well. So going back up to the top, so once again, we have our categories, transit, and then we have TriTAG's a brief position statement, as well as a link to those pop-up dialogues with longer statements and links, as I mentioned, up at the top of the screen. And we'll have that for each individual issue. So for transit, we ask 3 questions. The first has to do with the frequency and reliability of transit, especially ION and the iExpress network. Light rail service into Cambridge. Then our third question has to do with fare policy and ensuring that fare hikes are keeping pace with property tax increases, unlike the past decade. Our bike network question this year, we're only asking one simple question. Have you or have you not signed the Cycle WR I Bike I Vote pledge? And that pledge asks candidates if they would support building a minimum grid cycling network, as well as whether they would support a cumulative $20 per resident investment in cycling infrastructure over the next term. As well, I will note that the pop-up for that includes a link to the pledge, and you as a voter are encouraged to also take that pledge. Note that we've included the responses to the pledge of people who may not, or candidates who have not participated in the survey. So if a candidate has indicated they have signed the pledge, then we've included that response there, even though we don't have answers to the other questions in the survey. Walkability, we asked 2 questions. The first question has to do with how candidates would seek to keep sidewalks clear of snow in the winter. And the second question has to do with sidewalk infill, what they plan to do about gaps in the sidewalk network and streets that have no sidewalks. Our next 2 questions have to do with zoning and land use policy. First question we're asking, what requirements will be put on new development to help ensure communities are walkable and encourage cycling and transit. And the second question asks about parking minimums. These are the minimum amount of parking required of developers. So if a developer felt that they only needed, say, 5 spots in order for their property to function, the city or township may say, no, you actually need 10 spots, just based on somewhat arbitrary metrics that cities across North America have adopted. But economists are increasingly realizing that parking minimums are very ineffective policy and have very negative side effects, including increased costs of housing. And finally, safe streets. What kind of changes are candidates willing to explore for changing intersections or street designs to ensure safe streets and speeds and to save lives on our roads? And as mentioned again, we have our contact information where you can email or visit campaign websites or even tweet to the candidates whose responses you've just read. Our last section of the page, we're inviting voters to pledge that they're going to vote. And of course, we give them the opportunity, if they so choose, we will send them voting reminder email on election day on October 22nd. And that's about it for our website, except for one last thing. If you wanted to visit our main website and read more about TriTAG, link up at the top, tritag.ca. You can follow that to get to the TriTAG site. And you can also share the site via Twitter, Facebook, or email using these links on the top right-hand corner. Thank you very much, and I hope to see you at the polls on October 22nd.